Hello, my name is Veronica, or Veronica, sometimes in Spanish and sometimes in English. In Spain, in my home country, everyone calls me Vero, but here you can call me Veronica, which was difficult for me to pronounce when I was 8, which is when I arrived to the US from Spain. It is really nice to meet you today. So, who am I? What are my interests? I am a student of meditation, and I am a student of peace. I am a wife, and I am a best friend. I am a nature lover, and I live in San Diego, California, where I get to see hawks and seagulls up close and personal. I love to learn how to do new things like growing flowers from seeds. I like to learn the names of the flowers and trees and animals I come across, especially native plants, to help our earth. And I like to discover the stories behind each one. For instance, did you know that you can eat borage? It is a beautiful purple star flower, and it can be used as a homeopath or flower essence to promote playfulness and optimism. And it looks great on any birthday cake. After all, everyone and everything has a story. Stories. I believe in the power of stories, and I believe stories is what brings us together. I am passionate about monarch butterflies and about green technology like electric bikes and electric cars. You can sometimes find me riding around on my e-bike with baskets full of flowers and plants on my way home to a new gardening project, or a basket full of ingredients to make a beautiful birthday cake. And what I truly love to do when I'm not playing with seedlings and riding my bike is spend time with children. I love to teach and help children around the world find their joy. In Taiwan, I taught English to children, and they taught me the power of hard work and play. In 2005, I traveled to Nepal with my charity. I got to spend time with homeless children. We became friends and taught each other words like hello and sunshine. I also learned that they needed food, and together we went on a shopping adventure. Reka assured me the best thing to buy was a type of Nepalese flour which they make bread from, and so that is what we bought. Reka and Sita and Seema also showed me where they slept in the city. And in our broken communication, I learned about the school they went to. In Nepal, homeless children can go to public school, which is why my new friends knew some English and we were able to share our stories. Back to the power of stories. So no matter where we are in the world and no matter who we are in the world, the stories that we share have the power to heal. They can help us grow and gain confidence, gain joy. And as we develop the craft of our language and our expressions, our songs and our gestures, all of these things can help us gain the grace that we need to connect better with each other and with the world around us.
And for the last 5 years, I've been an outdoor educator. Most of those was spent with a specific program, and I had the same families come back for 5 years in a row, and that was really special to me because I have enjoyed building connections and really having an authentic connection with the families that I work with. But what I noticed during my years with the other outdoor program was parents were looking for even more support and even more information. They wanted to know what was going on in their children's development and what tools they would need to better support their child in the ways that they didn't feel they had. And so I created my own outdoor program, and I've built the curriculum to include tons of emotional literacy and SEL supports for both the parent and the child. because I have found that my passion is helping parents connect with their child or the adult in their life. It doesn't have to be a parent, it's the grandparent, aunt, uncle, whoever it might be. But finding a way to help them connect in a way that is supportive of SEL and building those important skills, but also helping that adult recognize what their place can be in a child's play, because play is such a beautiful and important place for children.
Hello, my name is Amanda Jones. Like many teachers, I started my virtual teaching career back in March of 2020, and while that was certainly a challenging time of pandemic uncertainty, I found my true educational passion. I love teaching virtually. I love the rapport with the students and their families, and I love, most importantly, that you can meet the needs of all learners on a virtual platform. I've seen students who are struggling in brick and mortar thrive in a virtual format, and it has been such a fulfilling experience for me. I have taught kindergarten for the past 3 years, and this year I'm teaching first grade. I truly and utterly enjoy those students. I love helping them reach their academic goals, and I love helping meet their social, emotional, and developmental needs as well. It is my absolute passion. I got my master's in elementary education, and I have taught many different grades, but I love first grade and kindergarten specifically, and I have a great rapport and connection to those students. On a personal note, I live in St. Augustine, Florida, with my husband and our 2 pets, Milo, our dog, and Remy, our cat. I spend a lot of time outside, enjoying the outdoors, as well as reading. I recently acquired a lot of my childhood books from my mom, who moved, and I've had a really great time rereading a lot of my favorite childhood books and reading them to my students, and that's been a great literary journey for me this year, both fun and professional. On a professional note, I have been a forever student. I graduated with my master's in elementary education in 2019 and my bachelor's in 2015 in history. But I am a big believer in professional development. I'm a big believer in learning all different types of ways to meet the needs of learners. I do a lot of reading on my personal time, as well as attending different lectures and seminars, and especially in a virtual format, there's so many incredible tools that are coming out all the time to help students reach their needs, whether they be academic, emotional, developmental. So I'm always looking for the next thing, as well as fostering those amazing tools that already exist.
Good afternoon, my name is Anthony Signorelli. I'm currently teaching in Portland, Oregon. This is my classroom. I teach 6th grade English language arts. I've been here for 4 years. I also run a mindfulness meditation program. That's because I'm a certified yoga teacher and I have great passion for mindfulness teachings and meditation, and I think it's a wonderful tool to learn at the middle school level. So I started this program here 4 years ago, and I absolutely adore working with kids, discussing emotions, feelings, learning how to respond, create space, and also teaching some physical movement with yoga asana. I started teaching language arts 4 years ago here at this school. I taught high school online for 4 years with a public charter, and I've taught ESL abroad in South Korea. My passions include athletics. I'm an Ironman triathlete, and I love to run and bike and hike and be outdoors. I also love to travel. I try and go to a new place every year. I started my travels in South Korea teaching. I backpacked Southeast Asia and visited the jungles of Thailand, orangutan refugees in Indonesia, the killing fields of Cambodia and the Khmer Rouge, the cave homes in Cappadocia, Turkey, Machu Picchu, Peru, animal refugees in Costa Rica. I spent last year surfing in Mexico and studying yoga. I love exploring new cultures and bringing that into my classroom. I also am a photographer, so I love to work with a camera and capture images. And I love learning about new culture. And it's one of my passions, and it really aids me in teaching kids and being able to understand kids and where they come from in their different backgrounds. So I'm grateful for the opportunities that I've had, because it has enhanced my abilities to teach and connect with kids and form relationships. I come from a background of teachers. My grandfather was a music teacher. My younger brother was a music teacher, and now he's a vice principal in Virginia. And my mother is still teaching 8th grade language arts, where I grew up in Rochester, New York. I've been out here in Portland since 2009, and I adore the mountains and the pace of life here, and I love exploring the West Coast.
I'm very passionate about making sure that our younger students get the foundations of STEM, critical thinking, and science content, so that they are ready as they continue to grow up. So I received my bachelor's in biology, and I minored in secondary education. Then later on, I got my master's in special education, because as I was teaching, I was like, there was so many students with varying abilities who needed more supports, and I knew that would be the best way for me to help more of my students. I had a lot of students with IEPs, and so going in for special education was, I knew my next decision. That was easy. And going in with special education, learning that, I was able to apply a lot of that for being able to teach my sons and teach younger grades. So varying abilities to me, when I'm looking at how I can engage my sons, being that they're 3 and 5, they're able to do things that my middle schoolers were able to do. Just because if you have the content and you just got to meet them where they are, as long as they have the basics, then children can learn anything. And so understanding that with that master's, I was really able to really apply that with my sons, and then apply it further to other students that I was able to teach. When schools initially closed back in March of 2020, at the beginning of the pandemic, everybody had to stay home. I began to, as I was homeschooling my children, I began to share little things that we were doing on my social media. And from there, I had an influx of parents, families, friends, and even some people I didn't know who would reach out to me and be like, hey, what did you do here? They wanted to know more on what I was doing in order to help my sons at home engage in science. And because we were using at-home materials, things that they could do at home, they wanted to learn more. And so as I was sharing and sharing and sharing, birthed Science Teacher Mom. And so that was the beginning of when I became known as Science Teacher Mom, where I'm able to help parents, homeschooling parents and students, and some elementary school teachers really engage their students in learning science by using fun, hands-on experiments, activities. And so that's really been my passion in the past couple of years, couple of months. I am passionate about being able to teach more students and reach more students, and seeing their eyes glow up with the love of science. And even if they don't become scientists, everyone's not going to be a scientist. Of course, not everyone wants to be a pharmacist or a doctor, but the skills that students learn from going into the STEM field early can go and take them anywhere. Having a basis in engineering design mind, they can figure out the problems that are out in the world and figure out those solutions that we need. And that's really where my passion lies, being able to produce and really help these young thinkers become the best thinkers out there to help the world become a better place.